Welcome back to our special election coverage today. We've, on the basis of polls which have been done by other agencies, we've given you a rough trend, a big picture of what could happen on the 19th of May. Time now to look at the bigger national picture. If these numbers which have been projected hold, what is the national picture going to look like? Is there really going to be any impact or not? These are some of the key findings that we've got. Head-to-head fight between Congress and BJP in Assam. Strong possibility of a BJP government there. According to the CNN poll of polls, Mamata Banerjee, straightforward pole position in West Bengal. The flood collapse, the Narad Singh has impacted her, but not to that extent. The left, possible resurgence for the left in Kerala, Uman Chandy seems to be losing ground. In Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha set to emerge as the queen, some gains possible for the DMK. This is what has been figured out in terms of all the poll numbers which we have put up for you. Let's now look at the national impact and let's identify some of the critical factors where this round of assembly election results could end up maybe becoming a factor. How will this round of assembly polls affect the national political scenario in terms of governance, in terms of policy making? Can an Assam victory for BJP resurrect the dwindling fortunes of BJP President Amit Shah? 2015 wasn't a particularly good year for him. Will these results have any impact on the upcoming Uttar Pradesh and Punjab polls? Who stands to gain? Can there be any impact whatsoever? Will these elections put more pressure on the Congress party to settle this leadership debate once and for all from Rahul Gandhi? Is he good? Is he not good? Has to be settled in some form at some position. Let's at this stage now welcome some of our other guests as well. Political guests joining us at this stage. Representing the BJP, Dr. Chandan Mitra. Representing the Congress party, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. D. Raja representing the CPI. And Durbar Ganguly, editor-in-chief of Brilliant Post, stays with us. Our in-house election experts, Swapan Das Gupta and Ajay Bose, also with us. Chandan Mitra, let me just first begin with you, sir. And let me ask you to respond to that bigger question which I was raising. How is it, firstly tell me, do you believe that these election results in any way will have any impact whatsoever on national politics?
Not in any significant way. I don't see any major change in the composition, for instance. No, composition of course in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha will not change just now. But in any case, you see, this is not something that is going to really affect the government of Mr. Modi. He will continue in the same way as he has been doing. It may have some impact on whether the parties, the other parties, non-Congress parties, how they approach the government and how much they cooperate with the Narendra Modi government in getting some of the pending legislations cleared in the Rajya Sabha. Beyond that, I don't see any other major impact on national politics.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the opinion polls, and they are opinion. Okay, we'll try and go across to Abhishek Manu Singhvi in a short while. But D. Raja, if Mr. Raja is there, you know, the opinion polls seem to be suggesting that in the state of West Bengal and in the state of Kerala, the left parties may perhaps end up scoring some gains. Should that happen, I'm not using the word resurgence here, but how would the left party be looking at this? Would you be satisfied? Should you manage these gains which are being projected by these opinion polls?
Definitely, we are working hard and we are hopeful that we will recover drastically in the state of West Bengal. And we are likely to make a comeback if this trend continues. And in Kerala, definitely we have better chance of coming back to power, and we will win power in Kerala. In other parts also, for instance, Tamil Nadu, now the left parties are in a front in which you have Mr. Vaiko's MDMK, Mr. Thirumavalans Valavan's VCK. Now Mr. Vijayakant's party aligned with this front. So it is a formidable front, and in fact the opinion poll doesn't show much, but actually Tamil Nadu is going to witness a multi-corner contest after quite some time. And in a multi-corner contest, and our front is really a contender for power. So we should not take people for granted.
Dr. Singhvi, from a Congress point of view, sir, the Congress point of view, you know, these opinion polls seem to be suggesting that there is a strong possibility of you losing your hold in Assam and you losing your hold in Kerala. Should that happen, how much of a setback will that be for you, sir?
Well, I don't know the exact figures in your polls, but of course with the usual disclaimers and the
of course, I myself am giving disclaimers,
and all that.
I myself am giving disclaimers.
Let me
that these are not even my polls.
Yes. I think it would not be fair for me to deny the fact that anti-incumbency is always a problem, especially when you take into account a fourth-time situation for Assam and obviously a very, very established pattern of cyclical alternate changing in Kerala. That's the reason why these polls appear to suggest. But let me tell you 2 or 3 things. One, in Kerala, I think there's a lot of sympathy for the attempts made by this incumbent government. I think even the polls show a very marginal shift. And if that was to go slightly wrong, I think in Kerala we could make history by either coming through or coming through with just a small gap which can then be made up post-elections. So I am much more sanguine about Kerala than people think, because the movement is very minor. Even some of the polls I saw, the BJP gets, after all this hullabaloo, 1 seat.
No, but
so I don't think
we're talking about states where it didn't exist. No, we're talking about states where it didn't exist. But
that's
you know,
all right.
but Dr. Singhvi, you know, I've just come back from Uttarakhand. I've just come back from Uttarakhand, sir, and I just did a hot seat interview this time with your well, I don't know whether he's a chief minister or not, because there's a president's rule which has also been challenged in the court, and one doesn't know what's happening in Uttarakhand. But Harish Rawat, I asked him one specific question. I want to ask you that question as well. Do you not believe, sir, that now that there is a possibility of Uttarakhand not having a Congress government, Arunachal, no government, Assam, you could lose, Kerala, the polls seem to be, yes, close race, but possibility of you losing. How does this reflect on your central leadership, sir? The Congress only seems to be losing ground state after state.
No, I think that's too much of a generalization. It's factually inaccurate. You are mixing up apples and oranges. If we lose in a fair election in Kerala and West Bengal and Assam, in Kerala and Assam in particular, which I don't think we will at all, that's something part of the democratic process. But to lose in Arunachal and Uttarakhand is not losing. I have just spent 3 days in Arunachal. It's the most blatant assault. Let me tell you, Bhupendra, never before in the 70-odd years history of this republic has President's rule been used directly to short-circuit the governor's report, the governor's direction for a no-confidence vote on 28th, and the speaker's adjudication of blatant defection. So I think if you keep doing this, you can call it a loss.
No, I'll tell you why I was doing this,
It takes a huge toll on the psychology. One second.
Yeah.
It takes a huge toll because people are not fools. Every time you do this in Arunachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand, you actually come down many notches in people's perception.
No, sir, but you see the reason why, I know you're trying to,
vote,
I know you're saying apples and orange comparison, but the truth is that in Uttarakhand in particular, in Uttarakhand the crisis was triggered off by your own party leaders. That's the reason why I'm asking you this question.
Why?
You know, Harak Singh Rawat, Vijay Bahuguna, Harish Rawat, what was going on? I mean, it was Congress's own internal policy and politics machination which were going on, sir.
But let me tell you, sir, in a House of 70, we have been successfully ruling with 34 and 36 for many years. On the day of 18th, the minister pilots a bill, and then 9 people suddenly vote against. Is that not a constitutional?
No, we're not.
You created a defection, anti-defection law to say this is a constitutional evil and a sin.
The only reason...
if you found your basis on that sin, then you can say yes.
I didn't want to get into that. The only point I wanted to make, Chandan, was just this, that somewhere along the line, there is a question mark. Am I not right, Chandan, when I said that there is a question mark about the ability of the central Congress leadership, frankly, to rule in states, to manage its own party? Is that an unfair question?
No, it's not an unfair question, but you know, I'd happily discuss Uttarakhand with Mr. Singhvi or whoever the Congress puts up, but I thought today we are discussing
of course.
the coming round of elections in the states, and the fact that the Congress party is slated to lose whatever few states it still has in its control.
And therefore,
So
I'm
yes,
asking that question.
To that extent,
therefore, I'm asking that question about the Congress's central leadership.
Yeah, that I'm sure Mr. Singhvi would not like to answer, but if he does, it's fine by me.
Okay, okay, but Shobhan, let me just turn to you, and the same question which I was trying to ask, you know, because there is a story there, isn't there, that from 2014 onwards, the story of the Congress party has only gone one way, which is, you know, in the reverse gear, and that story only seems to be getting more aggravated election after election.
Yeah, it is certainly, from Congress's point of view, being still the principal opposition party at the centre and nationally, if it keeps losing at this rate, losing states, whether through its own internal problems as in Uttarakhand and Arunachal, I'm not getting into the constitution, and if they lose Assam and Kerala, the results are quite catastrophic.
But what's changed between 2015 and 2016, Ajay?
Whether this is going to have a larger effect on the future of the Gandhis or the future of Rahul Gandhi, however, I'm not so certain.
I'm on a different point. I'm saying, I think if these opinion poll results were to hold on the 19th, what is now becoming increasingly clear is that if there is an individual or an outfit which has to take on Mr. Modi, then that individual and outfit is not the Congress party.
Yes, you know, I think ironically, you know, Mr. Modi hasn't done particularly well in these past 2 years in elections. I mean, this last year has been terrible.
That's why I'm
but
drawing
the Congress
this comparison.
can't take much cheer out of it.
Precisely.
Because the Congress has got wiped out in Delhi, the elections, wiped out. The BJP won 3, the Congress got 0. And even in Bihar, it did ride on that, you know, Gathbandhan. But, you know, we all know that the Congress was barely there. And now, if you look at the elections, this round of elections, and the elections coming up next year, I think if I were a congressman, I would be very worried for my party, because next year would have been the great opportunity for the Congress in Punjab.
Precisely.
And it looks like that, you know, in a state where it could have come back to power, it's going to lose power to the arm.
By the way, as we speak, I must tell you that the Congress party's later election management expert is now carrying out an exercise in Punjab. It's called Coffee with Captain. So Captain Amrinder Singh is now trying to remodel himself.
Wouldn't it have been better to call it lassi with the captain?
Well, this is a news channel, so I'm not using the other word with the captain.
That is why Congress has a particular dilemma, that it's not that the BJP is proving very invincible, but the people who are ousting the BJP are not the Congress.
Can I take a break?
Other people.
Can I take a break? Because on the other side of the break, I'll ask Durbar Ganguly this question. In the context of West Bengal, what's happened, how will this Mamata Banerjee and Narendra Modi equation play itself out? Somehow, it seems that if the BJP, and some polls seem to be suggesting that the BJP could get up to 4 seats, how will Mamata Banerjee deal with the BJP, and how will BJP deal with Mamata Banerjee at national level? Look at that on the other side of the break. Welcome back to our special election coverage of this Friday evening, where we're just trying to do a poll of polls and now trying to figure out how will this round of assembly election really play itself out as far as policy making in Delhi at the centre is concerned. Durbar Ganguly, should these numbers hold? Should these numbers hold and Mamata Banerjee ends up being more subdued, how will her response and how will her relationship work out henceforth with the BJP?
First of all, the opinion poll which is suggesting that the TMC will get only 160 seats is an absolutely concocted figure.
Okay.
I personally feel, as much as I know Bengal politics so far, I think their figure is going to go up much more than this, number one. Number two, you are asking me a question about the relationship of Bengal, in Bengal with BJP and Trinamool. You see, the BJP's case in Bengal is one of the saddest story in the country. They have chosen third-rate leaders to raise a slogan like Mamata Bhag Mamata Bhag in Bengal. And the person whom they chosen, even he is not even belongs to Bengal, number one. His credentials are even questionable to the own BJP workers, number one. Number two, BJP has tried his best to needle Mamata Banerjee by Sharda investigation, and they were basically focusing on the TMC leaders.
So she'll be as
whereas
aggressive.
one of the main BJP leader whom they have chosen as a central minister.
She'll be as
he himself
aggressive.
was one of the closest guys
Chandan,
to one of the chief.
can I hear from Chandan as well?
That's why one of the
Can I hear from
problems they
Chandan
have,
as well?
They cannot take the investigation forward.
Can I hear from Chandan as well? Chandan,
in
only
future.
purely from in the context of, policy making at the center. Possibly, the possibility of a subdued Mamata Banerjee, the possibility of a subdued Jayalalitha, that should augur well for the BJP at the center.
Well, whatever the equation between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress in West Bengal, the Trinamool Congress has supported some of the major reform measures of the Modi government. Now, as you know very well, that in the
which is part of their benefits.
GST, they have indicated that they are going to support as and when it comes. On other legislative matters, the TMC has been supportive. But that does not mean that in West Bengal, we are going to kind of, leave the TMC or kind of not attack them for all the cases of corruption and misgovernance that has been going on there. So while we contest against each other in Bengal, in the center, in the interest of keeping out the Congress and for national progress, I think Mamata Banerjee has taken some sensible decisions.
Dr. Singhvi?
So,
Dr. Singhvi,
there's a symbiotic relationship.
Okay, Abhishek Singhvi, in 2015,
I'd like to clarify one point. I want to like to clarify just one point.
Yes, sir.
That Trinamool Congress has not gone away from their, on a single point which they have extended support to the central government, which was not part of their manifesto.
Okay, can I go to
like
Abhishek
GST
Singhvi?
bill was part of their manifesto,
Abhishek,
I understand.
Abhishek, we saw in 2015, first Delhi happened, the year began with Delhi Assembly elections. It was a wipeout for the Congress party. Bihar Assembly elections, good news for the Congress party. You were part of the same line. But at the center, there was a certain amount of aggression. Now with these elections in Assam, these elections in Kerala, opinion polls predicting this, and I know your usual disclaimers, is this in any way, sir, going to impact the Congress party strategy at the center?
Well, strategies are two levels, but each state-specific strategy varies in the context of the state. 2 or 3 quick points, Bhupendra. First of all, I find a lot of selectivity and opportunism in what I hear. You will pat yourselves on the back, though you are in coalition with the Akalis and will lose Punjab, but you will talk without any basis that the Congress is certainly losing to AAP. So that's point number one. You will ignore the fact that you have absolutely no stake, no presence, nothing, despite trying for months and years in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal. You have hardly made any progress, but you will blame the Congress for being wiped out.
Okay.
We are now in the 4th term in Assam, no mean achievement. We have done a successful term in Kerala. So let's be a little more reasonable. Yes, we have a problem of anti-incumbency, but to suggest that this is going to be a wipeout for the Congress is to ignore the reality. On the contrary, what has happened with all the breastfeeding and the shouting after Modi.
In Parliament, sir. My question was, how is Parliament going to be impacted? That was my question.
I have one question for Mr. Singhvi.
Yes.
Well, Parliament is going to be impacted.
I have one question for Mr. Singhvi.
So
yes, Durbar, go ahead, Durbar.
Can I just finish? Parliament is going to remain the same because BJP doesn't realize that they do not. Can I finish? Please?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Because
quickly.
the Rajya Sabha profile is not going to change till considerable later, and the BJP is not in a position, not by nature, not by temperament.
Durbar, quick question, and then I'm turning
so there's going to be that bugbear all the time.
Durbar.
Yes.
No, first of all, Congress was the alliance partner of Trinamool Congress in 2011. And it was the left who left the government of UPA in the last phase of your term.
So the Congress party should not be speaking about alliance management.
The Congress workers who have really lost lives in the hands of the CPM.
Okay, I'm running out of time. So final comments. Starting first with you, Ajoy. What is the best way to look at these elections? I'm not even using, the cliched words, semi-final, quarter-final. I'm not using any of those words. Do these elections hold any lesson whatsoever for policymakers at the center?
Well, at the moment, I don't think that these elections are going to make any fundamental difference. The only state, if the BJP is able to form a government in Assam, it will certainly halt the kind of slide back which the party has been
And all
facing.
these theories and controversies, Swapan, that we were hearing, Amit Shah not being allowed to compete his tenure,
that is the only
all
state
that,
of interest to me.
all that comes to
really,
an end
you know.
with this? Should these results
I
hold?
think Ajoy is entirely right that if the ability to do well and possibly form a government in Assam will certainly make a perceptual difference. It will halt the idea...
Which got hit in 2015.
Which got hit in 2015.
Okay.
BJP has tough elections ahead after this round of election. But I think that if a slightly weakened Mamata Banerjee and
a weakened Jayalalitha.
Jayalalitha will not be disadvantaged.
That's the point. That's the point that I was trying to get at. That's the point that I was trying to get at. That if there is slippage which is witnessed in West Bengal and in Tamil Nadu, somewhere along the line, it will help the BJP. Mr. Raja, you wanted to make a quick final comment?
No, firstly, do not make the debate as though it is between Congress and BJP, and as though we have a two-party system in India.
No, you're there,
are
sir.
other parties
You're there.
also.
Of course you're there.
You are discussing the future of the future of Congress party. You also discuss the future of BJP. What is the future of BJP? You yourself
You have a future for yourself. You have a future for the CPI.
My friend Mr. Raja.
Okay.
What is the future of CPI?
I think the objective of the CPI is to regain its national status.
Fair enough.
Yes, we will do that.
Very
We will do that.
Very
We will
good.
do that.
Very good.
Swapan, thanks for your advice.
Good luck.
Swapan, thanks for your advice. We will do that, and left will come back, and left will play the role.
If the BJP can come back,
which
CPI can certainly come back.
Absolutely, it's a democracy.
The point is, Assam, you were talking about Assam, and now I am telling you, there is fear psychosis in Assam. If the way BJP is polarizing the state and communalizing the situation, it has already created
I've dealt with Assam, Mr. Raja, I've dealt with Assam. I thought that you wanted to make some comment about...
Now they think Meghalaya is the next target, or Manipur is the next target.
All right. I'm out of time now, sir. I'm out of time. I'm afraid. I've dealt with the states that you're talking about, sir. I've dealt with the states that you're talking about. Thanks to all of you for joining me on our special election coverage. This was just the beginning of election season. There will be exit polls. It's a long month, by the way. You know, Bengal is going all across April into May. In May, Tamil Nadu, Kerala go to polls. So we have a lot of time ahead of us where we can look at all these questions being raised by Mr. Raja and our other panelists. If you haven't, thanks so much for watching. IBN Live is a place where you can go and you can catch all these trends which we picked up from all these polls. Goodbye. Good night.